Jai Sri Ram. Welcome to Bharat, my friends. We have Dr. Adityanjee with us, a geopolitical expert, foreign matters expert. Friends, we are so happy to have Dr. Adityanjee again here, and we are going to discuss about our topic today is very important. China dominates after ability. What Modi 3.0 will do? Okay, will they able to match it? Will they able to surpass it? Will they care about it? These are all the questions we have for Dr. Adityanjee, and I am sure you will love this session of Dr. Adityanjee answers. And friends, this is available in Bharat Marg. You can go and check up Dr. Adityanjee in his own playlist, which is Dr. Adityanjee answers. Okay, you will able to go and see there. But before going further, friends, please make sure to like this video, comment on the video, share the video with as many people as you can, friends. Also, don't forget to subscribe the channel if you didn't already, and also press the notification bell to stay connected so that anytime we go live you get notified. And friends, we do a lot of good things. As you can see, we teach Sanskrit for free. If you want, you can send us a WhatsApp and do join with us. And also Sanatan Prachar. Okay, you can see we are running Bhakti Club and Havan Puja, Gaudan, Gau Seva, Havan, Annadan, etc. If you like what we are doing, if you like our Dharma Prachar, friends, please do. And you can subscribe for our one dharmic message every day. Don't forget it, friends. You can get it in the language of your choice. And also, friends, support us by sharing this video with as many people as you can. And also, friends, make sure to donate us, because we need your donation at this time to keep working for Sanatan. Please help us at this time. Okay, Dr. Adityanjee, welcome. So happy to have you here. Okay, it's always exciting.
I'm
The
always
question is
to be on Bharat Marg.
absolutely. You are absolutely a treasure. I am saying you are a humble man. People don't know much of your background. I am saying when he's one of the very successful persons I know of, and when you get to know him, you will know much better. Okay, we are so humble to have him here, friends. You know what today's subject is? We have question for Dr. Adityanjee. China dominates after ability. Okay, in after ability. Why Modi 3.0 government will do what? Okay, will they compete with China? Because if you see, they have their own what you call social media platforms. They have own chat platforms, WeChat and everything. They are all very popular, friends. They are not dependent on Western countries like America. Their data is not stored in America. Okay, and they have their own, and they don't get propagations done by Soros group or anything like that into China. Okay, have keeping that in mind. Okay, with a lot of foreign intervention at this time during the election time, Adityanji. Now the question is, will the Modi government take it seriously? Will they able to do anything? Do they have capability to do anything? Now they are in a minority government. Will that affect their ability? These are all the questions. Your platform is yours, Dr. Adityanji.
Thank you, Sundar Bhai, for inviting me to Bharat Marg. It's always a pleasure to come on this platform because you always throw very intellectually stimulating and challenging questions.
Hare Krishna.
So you refer to China and you refer to Chinese government's footprint in electronic media and social media, but also you alluded to China's cyber warfare capabilities. Although these are two separate subjects, but they are interrelated. Chinese philosophy is, multi-domain warfare that includes the conventional warfare, the information warfare, the psychological warfare, the lawfare. So part of it is cyber warfare. And China is very strong on that. Is Bharat willing to?
Dr. Adityanji, only one insert I would like to do here. This also, if you can touch upon. Okay, the man who wanted to ban their chat application and their video application, TikTok, just became a subscriber to TikTok. Mr. Trump himself. Okay, so this says a lot. No
Yes.
US election can be fought without their products.
So coming back to the topic at hand, I was talking about Chinese cyber warfare capabilities, which are very strong. They have hacked into US government databases not just once, multiple times, and not recently, but as long as a decade ago, when they hacked into one of the, I think, Veterans Administration and on other government sort of agencies. So
Mhm.
China is very strong. India or Bharat had been a late entrant to that. There was some capability of NTRO, uh, which is a Government of India agency,
Mhm.
a National Technical Research Organization. It's a new organization, it's not an old organization. Also, I think around 2017 or 2019,
Mhm.
uh, Indian government started a cyber defense agency
Right.
as part of the Indian Armed Forces. Now, problem is that it is not a full-fledged command. What you need at this point is, you know, a full-fledged command because cyber warfare is a very specialized subject. Just like Bharat neglected nuclear weapons for decades and was relatively a laggard in the end, just like Bharat lagged behind in ASAT capabilities, Bharat has been a laggard in cyber warfare capabilities. I can tell you that in 2007, one of the Indian missiles from the Agni series missile test failed. And that was later on found out that there was a special worm, Sexnut worm, that was created in Israel, used in US, and you don't know who used that particular worm to fail Indian missile test in 2007. So we are not talking about 2024, we are talking as early as uh, 2007. So yes, there is a need to upgrade cyber defense agency into a full-fledged command, just like you have, uh, you know, Army, Navy, Air Force, the Tri-Command. Similarly, you need a cyber defense command, not just a cyber defense agency. So the importance needs to be elevated. That is as far as the cyber warfare is concerned. But there is, besides cyber warfare, information warfare. And any country, including China, have taken advantage of that in recent elections. There was a statement from, I think, Bill Gates that China was using artificial intelligence and using open AI, capabilities to interfere in India's elections. And a lot of propaganda and disinformation was spread using various digital platforms and other platforms. Now, who do we blame for this predicament? If a sovereign country cannot check propaganda warfare originating from other countries, inimical countries, or so called friendly countries that are still trying to contain you, whose fault is that? You don't fault your adversaries, your enemies, to hurt your interests because that's their sworn job, their sworn aim that they are going to bring you down to your knees. So the question arises when none of the Indian governments so far since 1947 could focus on this, including the BJP government in two terms when they had majority. Will they have enough wherewithal? Will they have enough bandwidth? Will they have enough foresight to tackle this problem? China, as a policy, allowed FDI in Chinese sector by transferring the technology. So one of the precondition was that one of the Chinese company will be able to get the same technology that was being introduced by a Western country, and a similar parallel platform would be created. So you have Twitter, they have Weibo, you have YouTube, they have TikTok. And you alluded to, the person, the former US president who tried to ban TikTok, didn't do successfully. Actually, India did that successfully, banned TikTok. But Trump was forced to join TikTok for electoral purposes. So it tells you how sophisticated and how complex Chinese efforts are. But it's not just Chinese. There are Western countries that have invested very, very heavily into Indian media. Chinese have also done that. They have funded various portals, NewsClick. You know, I think this guy's name is Pravir Purkayastha or something like that. They took Chinese money. You have the wire, you have the print. There's a whole network called Omidyar Network that had invested heavily into Indian portals, and now they are forced to move out. They've decided that they will take away their investment from India. Why? Why BBC was crying foul when Indian government tried to check their activities because they were committing financial fraud. Basically, they were doing tax thievery, BBC. And ultimately, they were forced to admit that and make or incorporate a separate Indian company that will handle the BBC in India. So from 2019 to 2024 time, when the government had strong majority, 303 seats for the ruling party, and NDA, including NDA, was much higher number, they did try to, focus on this foreign pernicious influence in Indian platforms, news media platforms. Whether that would be possible with a minority government, only one can put a question mark. They did successfully. There was a lot of propaganda that there is censorship in India. BJP government is trying to bring censorship. It's being fascist. Some of the foreign funded journalists were crying foul. We know that there was a journalist in New Delhi who was arrested several years ago because he was acting as a double agent kind of thing, getting money from China. Then these NewsClick. There are other areas also where foreign funding is coming. What has been our, deficiencies? Is there an analogous agency supported by a government of Bharat like Voice of America? US government carries on its propaganda using Voice of America. Do we have? Does All India Radio have any capabilities where they can influence the foreign governments? Do they have a foreign company sending the messages abroad? No, there's nothing specific. What is BBC? BBC is an instrument of British government to
Al
influence
Jazeera, Al Jazeera.
Al Jazeera. So for 10 years, when BJP government was in majority, did they do anything about it? That becomes a question, not what they will do when they are a minority government. Did Doordarshan have an international channel? Why it was not done? China has CGTN, which is a worldwide,
America has CNN, MSNBC.
you know, US media in international relations and geopolitics surprisingly toes the US government line. Okay, it's a fact. They will never go against the US.
Against it. Even for a democratic government, Fox News does the same thing.
Yes. Uh, you know, in the second Iraq war, how lies were peddled by US media about weapons of mass destruction, Saddam Hussein owning weapons of mass destruction, which were non existent. The international inspectors could not find any evidence of NBC, nuclear biological warfare. We talked about Al Jazeera also, that is government funded from Qatar.
Qatar is a small country.
It's a small country.
They have a big media.
Yes. So what prevented Bharat for 10 years when BJP government was there to have an international news channel as part of Doordarshan? That's my question. So either there is no vision or there's lack of spine or there's a
And,
lack of
and,
priority.
and every election they cry foul, saying that they interfered with this, these guys interfered with this, people are funding, doing nothing about it.
So how long can we be in victimhood mode that imperialists are in trying to influence this country is doing this country is doing that? Why can't you act? Why can't you wise up? Why can't you take concrete actions?
Absolutely. Dr. Adityanjee, one thing that surprises me, if we can cover on this, most of the top CEOs in American companies are Indians, Hindus.
Yes.
Okay, to be specific,
Hmm.
why can't Modi government, and they support Modi government in one way or the other, why they cannot call somebody to back to India and say them to develop what they have to develop to make a fortress? I don't know.
So it depends upon the individual concerned. You cannot force somebody who is already abroad to come back to Bharat. Uh, I
Well, they
think
can request.
let me finish. Let me finish
Yeah.
this. There are complicating issues. If they have abdicated their Indian citizenship, have become US citizen or Canadian citizen or British citizen, then there's no hold over them. But if they still retain their Indian citizenship, then yes, they can be encouraged to come back. You know about Sridhar Vembu,
Yes.
the chairman of the Zoho Group. In fact, he returned successfully. He's back in his village in Tamil Nadu.
Yes.
And he is encouraging other successful NRIs to come back to the motherland and contribute as much as possible. So technically, it is possible. The government is trying to bring back scientists and technologists through various programs, but it's not being done in a major way.
And you have to give them a lucrative way to come too.
Yes,
You cannot just.
you cannot just issue an order and ask them to come. There
Yeah,
has to be some
that's not
incentive.
going to happen.
There have to be some incentives, for people to,
Incentive, and you have to request them. It's not going to come easy.
yes. So there has to be a sustained effort. If we have to, and I'm not going to talk about today. I will talk about Second World War. In Second World War, Germany's propaganda minister, Dr. Goebbels, what did he say? He is remembered for only for one quote. And that quote is, you tell a lie 1,000 times, it becomes the truth. Well, that is what he said. And this is exactly what happened in recent elections when Congress party said, oh, by getting 400 seats, they are going to change the constitution. Okay. And people were very, very scared. They took that for granted. Why I am bringing this forth? Because both domestically and internationally, the adversaries of Bharat, and I'm saying adversaries of Bharat, I'm not bringing BJP, I'm not bringing Narendra Modi. I'm more concerned about Bharat as a nation, as an eternal nation,
Absolutely.
and Bharatiya civilization as something that we are proud of. So if we have to save these two, we have to go beyond individuals and parties
Absolutely. You are
and
very
be
right.
able to give constructive criticism where they have been lacking. Because if they were so successful in the 10 years when they governed, they should not be in this condition. That they were
Absolutely.
crying foul about, what the international agencies are doing, what these news sites are doing, what Congress party is doing, or whatever. So the fault lies with us.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
I don't think in the last 10 years, there was a information and broadcasting minister
Good
who,
one.
yeah, who was credible, who had a vision.
Absolutely. It was not an important ministry. Let it put this way.
It used to be an important ministry.
Yep.
Mind you, it used to be an important ministry. It depends upon your, you know, attitude and your priorities.
Absolutely.
It had always been an important ministry, and as illustrious people as Lal Krishna Advani were information and broadcasting minister, because that ministry has lot of power, not just hard power but also soft power. Because I&B minister can decide if Doordarshan can have an international channel. I&B minister can decide if we can have agency like either Voice of America or BBC, government funded, that can carry the message of the government of India in foreign domains.
Absolutely. You have a well established All India Radio and Doordarshan. All they have to do is upscale it.
Upscale it, do some investment, and it's not that there's no money. Money can always be found out. You don't have to rely on FDI in the media section.
Absolutely.
And of course, the FDI media has to be curtailed, and gradually they have liberalized that for direct to home platforms, they have allowed 100% foreign FDI. Why would you do that? You are allowing foreign agencies to
Brainwash.
spread information without any control. In FM radio, you have allowed up to 49, which still gives you like 51% control. In print media, I think it was 26%. But in certain platforms, you have allowed up to 100% FDI.
And then cry foul.
Yeah. You can allow 100% FDI in construction of houses and bridges, but not in media. It's a
Absolutely.
very crucial segment.
Dr. Adityanjee, I have final question to you. Okay. See, a smart person, a patriotic smart person learns even from their adversaries.
Yes.
Okay. What do you think Modi 3.0 government has to learn from China or any other adversaries?
I think we have to learn a lot. Yes, there are strategic adversaries and competitors, but we can always learn from that. They have a sense of patriotism, sense of nationalism, not only at government level, but also at civil society level. We have to learn a lot from United States also. whatever may happen domestically. But in the time of war, United States Supreme Court always supports the government in power. In India, whenever we have trouble, our parties actually start questioning the government's version. Well, did we do the surgical strikes or not? Or whether the terrorist attack was an inside job by government. Congress party sort of spread a canard that 2611 was RSS ki sajish. They wrote a book on that. So we have internal divisions, and I think a strong government needs to control flow of information by making sure that disinformation, I'm not saying restrict the freedom of expression, but disinformation, the spreading of lies, rumors, the way the lies are being spread about Manipur, the way the lies were spread about Hathras.
And have your own platform too, for God's sake.
Do have your own capabilities. That's the first thing you need. These platforms are your tanks for information warfare. Like you have tanks, main battle tank, Arjuna, MBT. These platforms are your information warfare armor vehicle core. You need to
Absolutely.
understand.
Dr. Adityanjee, thank you for joining us and pouring your heart. And I think whatever you said are words of wisdom. Friends, what do you think about what Dr. Adityanjee said? You think Modi government has to focus on information warfare and information propaganda that is happening inside Bharat? Do you think they have what it takes? Do they have interest? Do you think they take this seriously? Do you agree with Dr. Adityanji? Do you have disagreement? Let us know by commenting on the video. Friends, make sure to share the video if you like it. Thank you, Dr. Adityanji, for joining us. Appreciate it for your time, your words of wisdom, very, very seriously. Thank you.
It's always a pleasure to come to your platform, Bharat Mar, because it's a platform that promotes Bharat as a nation and Bharat as a civilization, and we can never give up our love for those two.
Absolutely. Jai Sri Krishna, Jai Jai Sri Krishna.